evening, Leroy. How are you? Welcome to From the Pressbox.
You know what? I'm on vacation, so I'm in a great mood today.
Oh, I thought this is your way of you were just coming on to say, "Hey, no show."
Deuces.
It was like, well, that would kind of be a jerk move for you right off the bat without doing anything. How is vacation?
You know what? We did some family stuff on Tuesday. We went to the zoo. Which, listen, I don't mind going to the zoo with my family. It's the 500 field trips that drive me nuts because you see them. There are a bunch of little 10-year-old, 11-year-olds that are all wearing the same shirt, wearing the same, just getting into everything and hogging up all the cameras or all the little viewing areas. And I'm just like, all right, y'all go away.
You are so old.
I know. I know.
Like
I despise field trip groups. That's what I'm annoyed with today. I despise field trip groups.
I do want to start too with giving a shout out to Paul and so on and a bunch of you as well for helping get us to 100 followers. Because Facebook hasn't changed their rules. It started on Monday. Long story short, to live stream, you have to have 100 followers. And Leroy, we've been killing it. We've been doing this podcast, and I think we started today with 73. Great. So it took us, 16 months to get 73 followers. Good job.
Good job.
Great work. Great work. And thank you to those who shared and helped us get. I didn't see a count, but I think we're almost have gained 100 followers here. Paul, I appreciate you and everyone that did invite people. And if you're new to our show, welcome.
We did jump 100 today.
Yeah.
We're up to 174. You have no idea what that means to both of us, for real. Just because, we enjoy doing this. We really didn't want to have to go to the alternative route of just doing YouTube or just doing, or finding a new platform to do this on. So
Vimeo.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? So thank you so much, Paul, and to everyone, especially if you watch a little bit later on. You guys mean the world to us, and we thank you very, very much for everything.
Chase texted me earlier and said that he's not sure he's going to watch our show tonight because it's the congressional baseball game. And the Republicans are winning 21-6 at the top of the sixth.
I need you to understand, as a broadcaster and as a news director, Rodney Davis was a former congressman from our area, from Taylorville, which is where I'm from. And without doubt, we would have him on our show once a month. And he would always finagle a way to get it into the conversation about the time that crazy gun shooter came and shot at them while they were playing the baseball game. Without fail, we could be talking about too many stoplights in Taylorville or this Congress action needs to be passed. Well, let me tell you, it reminds me of the time that I was playing it. It's just like, all right, brother, I love you. But we've got to figure out a different talking point. I'm telling you right now, like that is something.
It's funny. Our congressman, he doesn't remember my name ever, which is fine. I don't care. I'm not important enough for him to. Yeah. See. Oh yeah. They have to bring it up. I'm not important enough for him to remember. But there was one time where he legitimately tried to learn my name, and I remember it was funny. He goes, hi, I'm Brett Guthrie. And I'm like, hi, I'm Sam Gormley. Oh, nice to meet you, Sam Gormley.
Sam Gormley.
Gormley. And he goes, formally. And it took him like 4 or 5 tries and still didn't get it right. And finally, by like the 5th try, I was like, yep, got it. Got it. So I was just hoping that when I saw him again, and I see our congressman maybe once a year, that he would have been like, hey, it's Sam formally or something, and it would just be kind of fun with it. But thank you though to those who shared, who liked, who followed, and if you're new to our show, welcome. I'm sorry that you have to go through this.
I'm not.
Yes. So, Leroy, I wanted to start off with a story time of sorts that I got to go. Got to go to a couple of Reds games over the weekend. It's a great series, great weekend. Weather was great. Reds took 3 out of 4 from the Cubs, which is another victory. But I loved all 4 of the games were great games. They were great games. And I love that the Reds and Cubs have played 7 times this year. And I think literally all 7 have just been fantastic baseball games, very entertaining. But on Thursday, I got the chance to sit in the auxiliary suite for affiliates, which is literally right one booth down from the visiting radio booth. Then on the other side of the visiting radio booth is home radio, visiting TV, and home TV. So it's really cool. Like when we walked in, there was the media dining room, and there was like the Reds TV crew eating. It smelled like Italian food. It smelled really good, but they were just eating their meal, talking and everything. It was really fun because they kind of make it to where you have to have horse blinders on, that you're not allowed to look, you're not allowed to talk with anyone or so on. Last year I ran into John Sadak, who's the Reds TV guy, in the restroom. So I actually got to have the conversation with him with that. So it's funny that they kind of frown upon you really having any conversations with them because, in all seriousness, we know this. We're broadcasters. They don't want to talk to you. They don't. They don't. They don't care about what I have to say.
Not even in like passing conversation.
No. So, but to get to this level at Great American Ballpark, we did have food. We had food in our own booth. It was just we didn't get to eat with the media. So we had it in which actually was probably better because then we got to eat it in a suite. It was pretty much a suite. So it's funny. We're leaving. The game ends. Reds win 8-4. And we are waiting to ride the elevator down. The elevator opens up, and about all of our group gets into this elevator, but it wasn't quite enough room for me, my dad, and someone else to go in with us. So we just said, hey, we'll get the next one. We're in no rush. They were going to a different level than us, and so on. So as we're getting ready, then the elevator comes, it opens up again, and out walks Barry Larkin. To get onto this elevator. And it was really funny. My dad does not like Barry Larkin. It's funny that he's one of the few Reds fans that does not like him because apparently there was a situation that happened back in the 90s where he ripped his captain's C off and he hasn't forgiven him. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, yes, we're about to ride down in an elevator, me, my dad, and Barry Larkin. This is going to be fantastic because I'm thinking I'm absolutely going to make him get a picture or talk to him 100%. But It's funny. The elevator attendant goes, wait. And Barry gets onto the elevator by himself, and we were not allowed on the elevator with Barry Larkin. And it was just funny and then the rest of the Reds TV crew comes and joins the elevator in that realm as well. So it was kind of funny that they were holding it off, but it was funny because Barry Larkin was the first one out. So it was this entire scenario that it looked like that Barry Larkin got his own elevator with it. So they go down, the elevator comes back, we get on. And it's funny because our elevator fills up and here comes Boog Shambi, the Cubs TV guy and whoever the Cubs color analyst is. I don't know who he is. Who is it?
Pat Hughes.
Their color analyst? Are you there?
Oh, for radio? Yeah.
No, this is TV.
My computer's acting up. Can you hear me?
Yes, but you are talking. Oh, and he's gone. Well, I'll continue my story then. But it was funny. See, we had a conversation before the show that it was expected that I was going to have computer issues because I did last show. But I hope that wasn't just a delay on my end. I'm not entirely sure. But what a show for us to get rolling. But it continued up. I don't really know what he is, Paul. It's kind of funny. Hopefully he'll be back here in just a few moments. But when we filled up our elevator, out walked Boog Shambi, John Shambi, the Cubs TV guy. And he just looked very sad because they were not holding an elevator for him. And I just found it funny that I thought Boog was going to get on the elevator with us, which would have been kind of fun. But he was like, no, we'll wait for the next one, and so on. But this was supposed to be, this great show that I had planned, that Leroy and I were potentially going to talk. But I don't know. I know when this happened to me, I went back and listened to that episode. And I know Leroy just asked, How's everyone doing? Paul, everything going okay? I don't know. Leroy seems to be coming at some point. Either that or I'm going to get a text message from him saying that his computer has decided to update or something. But let's give him a second here. I haven't received a message. This is just great podcasting, isn't it? Listen, I'm tempted to open up the phone lines. You can give us a call, 502-579-10,000, 1-800-606-4263. I think that's the KSR number that I'm listening to. Or, I might have to just throw the link down in the comment section and just see whoever wants to join and talk about the red. Oh.
Well, that was awful.
There you are.
Jim Deshay. Jim Deshay's.
It was about to be Paul's logos tonight. No, I was just saying that
at this point, it might as well be. Jeez.
But it was funny because as I was telling them before the show, I told you that I was expecting to have computer problems, and it very well still could happen. Knock on wood. Okay.
Nope, it was me.
I put the curse on. But no, it was funny.
Jim's been there since 2013.
So it was funny though when the elevator was not held for them, and Boog looked into our elevator and he looked like very hurt that they didn't hold an elevator for him. And it was kind of one of those looks that he was like, do I want to ride down with those plebeians? Do I want to ride down with those?
Boog, man. Let's not act like we're talking about the greatest of greats when it comes to broadcasters.
But it was just funny. I didn't think, but I knew why they held it for the Reds because they were probably trying to get down to the press conferences and so on. It made sense. But it was just funny that Shambi kind of gave the look like, yeah, no, I don't want to ride down with them. It was like, well, fine. We didn't want to ride down with you either, Boog. But still, so that was kind of funny. And then the other big Reds news is that we have to talk about, Leroy. Did you see what happened at the Reds game last night?
So, yeah, and I was kind of hoping, well, we can talk about it.
Well, because I just
are you all right with the let's just set our phasers to stud?
Okay, let's just a story in 3 pictures. Number 1, homeboy. He says, you know what? Let's take the field.
He's happy. Look at him.
Let's have
excited.
Fun. Let's have fun. Okay, picture number 2. Let's do a backflip in front of the cop. Cop in that right hand. What's he got, Leroy?
He's got a nice little taser right there, man.
And then picture number 3. Oh, he gets tased.
The agony of defeat. Oh, my goodness.
So what's funny?
Tasers to stun.
He is wearing a Johnny Bench jersey. Johnny Bench saw this picture, signed it, posted on Twitter, and said, keep doing you, bud. That is fantastic. Oh, yeah, Paul. Just look at, for one, both of these pictures are amazing. Amazing.
There is so much going on in both of those shots.
But I love the cop's face in this picture. He's ticked off.
He is locked in, man.
And then the kid, clearly, this is the moment where he realized I screwed up.
But also, where are his shoes?
That was exactly the point I was going to bring up. That's maybe my favorite part of this entire story is that he just doesn't have shoes on. I don't know what happened to them.
He's got the hat. Was his goal to try to get to the front and have somebody sign it?
He went and he talked to the Guardians center fielder.
Ooh.
And I can't believe I made that mistake. The Guardians center fielder. And the center fielder's what? Who's this guy? Where did he come from? But he was arraigned in court today, and he was wearing the Johnny Bench jersey. So clearly, his buddies did not bail him out last night. So he showed up to court in the Johnny Bench jersey and just looked like he'd clearly sobered up. But this picture.
They were like, hey, you go have fun. We'll be there for you, man. I promise. No, we got you. Listen, I know you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get arrested. Don't worry, bro. We got you.
So, in all seriousness, with this, it led to an interesting discussion I saw throughout social media today. Is what should the punishment be? Let's say throw out the legal punishment. What should the Reds punishment, or if this happened at Wrigley or wherever, what should the punishment be?
See, I'm just banning him for the rest of the year.
See,
I know
I'm also very interested by that because I think that's fair. Like tonight, there were 42,000 people there. Like,
well, and that's just it. Is they put supposedly like they ban these guys from every park, right? Like you get banned from baseball if you get that's the rumor is that you get banned from.
you're
But
telling
like,
me that
how do you keep track of that?
yeah, you're telling me that if he showed up to Oakland and said, "Can I come to the game?" that the A's would be like, "Yes, please." Like we have a fan. Come on in, bud, please. But like, I agree with what Paul says here, but that's my thing. It's like how do they enforce that?
Well, you have to buy a ticket through a credit card, right? Unless somebody else buys tickets and just
Or you buy from a scalper.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think there is a way to enforce it other than to say, okay, you're banned. If we catch you, the punishment is, well, that's how they can legally throw like a ton of stuff at him because that's trespassing, and
Yes,
then like a bunch of other stuff as well. So I would imagine that they say you're banned. We can't really enforce it, but if we do catch you, the punishment's going to be monumental.
And he's probably going to have this face when he gets his punishment. Then this picture. I just love the scenario.
You need to make that other one the top of our From the Pressbox.
Which this?
No. Yep. That needs to replace Big Red for a while as the cover photo of From the Pressbox.
There's just so much happening between the cop's face.
It almost looks photoshopped.
Yes.
It almost looks photoshopped. If you didn't watch the game or didn't know that was a real thing, that's fantastic.
It's
and that's just it, Paul. Is I'm sure when they give him the whole like paperwork, because they got the paperwork that says, hey, you've been banned from baseball. If we do catch you coming back to a game, these are the punishments you'll receive. And I guarantee it's a laundry list of punishment.
I just find it funny because if he just goes back and doesn't drink the $3 beers, homeboy's but that also, like, what I want to know now is,
wait, there are $3 beers?
Oh yeah, they do on Tuesday nights. They do $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, $1 ice creams. I think is what it is. So it's like 3-2-1 night. Yeah, so it's $3 beers. Then you had the people that were commenting being like, "Don't you dare ruin my $3 beer night!" Like, come on. But it's just that I love it, Paul. I love it, Leroy. Like it is like you just like that is just it is fantastic. This picture.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. I know that there was some big news, and I wanted to get your raw opinion on this because we've not discussed this, and I feel like, that's one. I bet that's on your tidbits because that was one thing that I wanted to mention about Joey Chestnut. Is that on your tidbits?
Yes, but go ahead and talk about it. You can go ahead.
No, that's not what I was going to bring up. That was just completely off the mark. Something happened in the state of Illinois yesterday for Illinois high school basketball. That is massive controversy in the state of Kentucky, and I'm fascinated on your opinion because I don't know it. Yes. So Illinois came out yesterday, day before this week, that in 2026, is that what it is? Or 2025?
I promise you, when I say I've been disconnected from the news this week, I'm telling you, I've been really disconnected from the news this week.
Illinois will now have a shot clock. It's either 2025 or 2026. So I asked you.
I will say,
are you pro or against 35-second shot clock? Are you pro or against?
Well, I will say Illinois has already been doing this, but they only do it during what they call exhibition games and tournament games. Okay, so if there's a tournament, schools have the option to add the shot clock. Some tournaments have them, others don't. The more prestigious tournaments, because let's face it, I know Kentucky does, but Illinois has some very prestigious tournaments that they happen like the Winter Classic and other things like that happen every year.
King of the Bluegrass is Kentucky's, yeah.
Right. So they've already been implementing it a little bit. I talked to a couple of the Apollo Conference, which is our conference. I've talked to a couple of the coaches, and the coaches have all said basically, we adapt. And I will say the way that's been done is horrible. So teams will wait till there's about a minute 15 seconds left in the quarter, or in the quarter and the half, and then they'll dribble. They'll dribble until there's like 8 seconds left and bring it in, and it kills. As a broadcaster, it absolutely kills, and you know that it kills. I was not thrilled when they made the announcement for the tournament games, but I have jumped on board.
Okay.
With the shot clock because of that.
But
we only had in the whole tournament, in all 12 games, we had 8 violations, which I thought was pretty good as far as doing much better than what I thought it was going to be.
Here's my thing with it. And Kentucky, it is varying opinions, and people are passionate about it.
Oh, yes. But one way or the other.
See, I'm on the side of, okay. You froze there for a second. I thought you were about to croak again.
Nope, not yet.
My
internet's slow at work.
No, you're fine. It knows you're on vacation and shouldn't be there, I guess. Maybe that's what it is.
That's it.
I'm against it happening because I don't think there's a need. I don't think there's a need for it.
Oh, we need it.
In Kentucky. In Kentucky, it is rare that we get many quote unquote stall ball. Does it happen? Sure. But here's also my thing. Because listen, you're not wrong. Stall ball does happen sometimes, and I've seen it happen. It's not fun for us to broadcast. There's no question about that. But that's also on the defense, because you can stop that. Just but pressure up.
Yeah, the defense is content with letting them do that.
Well, then, and that's their fault then. And that's just kind of my thing. And then also here's just the biggest part of it as well is my internet guy's a jackwagon. Don't call my guy. I wasn't. Well, you weren't here. Yes, I was. Okay, I don't need to get.
Easy,
but also,
easy.
Who's going to run it and who's going to pay for it? For some of these schools, they don't have the money to pay for it and to run it. I mean,
I know.
And that's the biggest reason that I have to do it. They already struggle enough getting somebody to run the clock. I mean, listen, it just shut up, Chase.
Some private donor paid for Taylorville's to be installed, but that's going to be on IHSA, right? I've always said, if the government agency wants to, and I'll say government agency, if the agency wants to make these places do it, they have to figure out ways that schools can pay for it. You cannot implement a new rule that costs money and
long term too.
And not provide the schools an opportunity to make it work. Heck, I'm telling you, at the college level, their shot clock broke, and they had to pull out a sideline like one that was temporary on the side it looked like a chess clock. You hit the top of it to like reset it, and that's how it would run down each time. So maybe that's the answer, is they get a cheap $35 one, but the question still remains is somebody still has to run that. That's an extra person that the school has to pay that has to be there for the game. But I'm telling you, I've seen both sides of this. And this is one of those rare instances where, much like the robots for the strike clock, or the strike, balls and strikes, I'm much more on board than what I was beforehand.
Yeah, it is so rare that there are instances where it doesn't happen, because another downside to it is it makes bad offense worse.
Yes, because teams will rush. You don't have the time to, and you become for lack of a better word, you become a run and gun offense.
And I know it's 35 seconds, but 35 seconds for bad teams is 10 seconds.
Yes.
And it's like if you would have done the basketball team you coached in Bowling Green. Oh God, it would have been awful. It would have been awful with it. That'll maybe be a discussion this summer, Paul, on the robot strike zone. I think that'll be a fun discussion for us to have because I think we can dive deeper into it. We don't necessarily have as much time to do that today. Sound good, Leroy?
I don't necessarily think that human umpires have gotten worse in the last 20 years. I don't think they've gotten worse. I think they've been the exact same. I think the camera angles that we have, and I think the ability to replay every single thing makes it look way worse than what it is. I encourage you to go back and watch go to YouTube and type in Cubs Reds 1987 or something like that, and go watch old 80s baseball. Because I don't necessarily think that the strike zone or the umpires have gotten worse.
Yeah, and I think that'll be something for us to spend more time on in a couple of weeks as well, when there is a little bit more time to give to it, because I think it's an interesting discussion as well. The WNBA, Leroy, we have to have our weekly WNBA sequence.
This is becoming
segment.
This was never supposed to be a segment. This is the stupidest thing in the world. We keep talking about it.
Should we? Let's see. Do I have any? Here we go. The WNBA theme song.
We have that. I thought that was I thought that was the theme from Cheers.
Oh no, this is just the theme song. Anytime we're going to talk about our WNBA segment, this is going to play underneath it. Oh, how about Chase here? Woo!
That's
coming in from it.
That's not accurate at all. What are you, 12? You're too young to remember the Jerry Wood game.
What year was that?
98?
Yeah, I was going to say you wasn't even born.
Yeah.
I was 1.
Get out of here.
Okay, what is our WNBA song is playing in the background?
Attendance is up 156% from last year. More than half of all WNBA games this year have been sellouts. 400,000 fans have attended WNBA games this season. WNBA arenas have filled 94% capacity. This year's televised games are averaging 1.32 million viewers, nearly triple last season's average of 462,000. WNBA Countdown, 741,000 viewers, 211% increase from last year. The online merch store has already set a single season sales record with 4 months left in the season, mind you. Sales are up 756% compared to last year. Social channels garnering 157 million video views, all-time high, up 380% compared to last year. And the WNBA set an all-time high for league pass subscriptions last month, with a 355% increase versus last season. That is the Angel Reese effect.
You're wanting to get smacked by your wife, aren't you?
Oh my goodness! Listen, the lack of respect for Caitlin Clark and what she's done is phenomenal. And again, I'm not necessarily saying that it's a targeting or that they're going after her, but it definitely feels like, I don't know. It's just like, I have no idea, Paul. I've never watched a single moment of it.
I saw a clip of it. It's four former players in the WNBA that are on it.
Of course it is. But I would love to see Shaq, Chuck, Kenny, and Ernie on there doing. Can you imagine? Like, they wouldn't be able to have Chuck on there. Chuck would talk for like a minute and a half, and he'd be like, "Nope, you're done. You're done. You're done."
Them big old women down in San Antonio eating churros. That's what he always says. No, I think it's interesting on how the WNBA is going to keep on changing as well. But, Caitlin Clark not on the Olympic team. Mm-mm.
Yes. And listen,
is Christy anti-Olympics now?
No, listen.
Is she going to start kneeling?
She just wants to make sure that Brittany Griner leaves her drugs at home when she goes to the game. So
she's going to France. She's going to be okay. Here's the thing. That's like a month away.
I don't think Caitlin was going to get, and they said, look, she's not going to get the minutes. And it's funny, they were all worried that she wasn't going to get the minutes. That's why she didn't get picked for the team. When you look at her stats compared to some of the other greats that are on the Olympic team, she's better than some of those other women are. That's just statistically, she is.
Good job trying to save yourself there so you're not sleeping on the couch tonight. I respect it. How about a little Who Am I right now?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Who am I? This is the segment where I've got 5 clues, and you just got to tell me who I am. Last week, I think it was Chase that pulled out Eric Gagne first in there.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I played in the NFL for 11 seasons.
Okay.
I played in the NFL for 11 seasons.
Jerome Bettis.
Last week was tough. I thought last week's was good, though. Eric Gagne, I felt like it was a good one, and Chase did a good job pulling it out. I started my college career at Santa Monica, where I was offensive teammates with Steve Smith. I started college at Santa Monica, where I was teammates with Steve Smith Sr., the former Panther.
Yes.
Any guesses? No.
Not
an expert on Santa Monica college football.
I already said Jerome Bettis, and I knew that was wrong because you would never pick a Steeler for
No.
Who am I? So
no. Number 3, I was fined over $2 million in my career. I was fined over $2 million in my career.
Randy Moss.
No. I played in the NFL for 11 seasons. I started college at Santa Monica, where I was teammates with Steve Smith Sr., and I was fined over $2 million in my career. Number 4, I led the AFC in receiving yards for 4 straight years in the 2000s. I led the AFC in receiving yards for 4 straight years in the 2000s. Who am I? I can see the wheels turning. I'm
trying to put timelines together. It's not working out too well.
Chase Blaine, back-to-back weeks.
Jeez.
Chad Johnson. And the last clue. Yep, Paul Ocho. Yep. And the last one that I think everyone would have gotten it on. In 2008, I infamously changed my last name to my self-given nickname. Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson.
Christy loves him, by the way.
Oh, you gotta love Chad.
You ever watch the video of him trying to take on Ray Lewis?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've seen all this. Listen, Chad is so when I was growing up, I've talked about how I had a Cincinnati Bengal who grew up next to me. And Chad went through a period where he had a mohawk that was like blonde, or he might have done it orange or something, but it really stood out. And my neighbor one time had a party next door, and my bedroom window overlooked his backyard. And I remember one night, I looked out and he was having a party, and I just saw the mohawk. And I was like, oh, Chad's over there. And I'm like, at this point, I'm probably 8. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness. He did live in the locker room for a period. And he would call Hugh Jackson, his offensive coordinator at the time, at 2:30 in the morning. He would call him and say, I'm open, and then hang up. Because he said he's 7-Eleven, always open. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Congrats, Chase. You pulled out Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson. Paul, you were right behind him. Tidbits. You said there's a lot.
I do have a lot today. Celtics dominating in the NBA Finals. Were they winning? They were up 51-50 last I saw.
I was going to say, that is tonight, isn't it? I'll look it up. Keep talking. Well,
Celtics are up 93-82, so they're about to go up 3-0. I don't think anybody doubted that Boston was going to dominate that series. Speaking of dominating, Florida is dominating right now in the NHL Finals over Edmonton. Both teams' flights were delayed because of severe weather, so they're stuck in Florida right now. I don't know if they got out or not.
They playing like Mario Kart or something? What did I see that?
Yeah, they were just trying to kill time. They're all playing together. Freaking hysterical. Jerry West passed away this week. Actually, I think he passed away today. Today, yeah. His impact will not be forgotten. I know the NBA logo is
it's time to change the logo now to LeBron, right?
Oh, you want to do this solo, don't you? But again, if you don't know the impact that Jerry West had on basketball, that is something that you got to look up. Jerry West was absolutely phenomenal for his time and for what he did for the sport. And
Paul, go on. Finish your point.
We don't really care about how many people actually watch our show.
Well, see, here's the thing, Paul. If we're being honest, they've gone down this week, which is impressive considering that it's because right now, according to my tally, because you don't see the number at the top, do you?
I don't. I'm really actually annoyed that we have even less people watching tonight.
How many?
Than what we normally do.
According to my number, how many people do you think it is?
I think 3. It's not even 3. Oh my goodness, that is awful.
1, according to my. Because I don't know if Chase is going back and forth or if it's just Paul. I don't know how accurate that number is, but it's just kind of funny. That's
so disappointing. I'm so annoyed by it.
Just you, Paul.
Man.
Well, Paul, we appreciate you. And Chase, you keep coming in and out. And then here's the other thing, and then you can go back to your tidbits. Old Dan comes in here and drops. Okay, so it's not accurate if Chase is watching too. Dan drops in a like, but can't stick around.
That sounds about right.
Typical Canadian. He's Canadian.
Right? He was mad because he knew I was going to talk crap about Edmonton. So
Edmonton sucks if he's going to do that. Okay, go
on. Dan Hurley announced that he will be staying at UConn. The Lakers tried luring him away from UConn. Listen, if you're at the top program in college basketball, I do not see a reason why, and maybe money, but I can't see a real reason for leaving a program that's at the top of the game.
NIL and the transfer portal.
Yeah.
I
actually really agree with Paul on this one.
It's a lot of pressure.
Might as well ask me to coach the Mets. Ew.
It's a lot of pressure out there to coach the Lakers.
Trade deadline is getting more and more discussed. There's starting to be a visible difference between the buyers and the sellers. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about who we think are going to be the buyers and sellers for the trade deadlines. We'll be talking about that. Are the Reds buyers or sellers?
Ask me in 4 weeks.
No,
I mean, and that's the thing in the NL is I don't know that anybody can truly be a seller because nobody's good in the NL.
Braves GM announced that he's very upset with the lack of production for the Braves. A rare. I get it. Listen, the Braves team should be a whole lot better than what they are right now. Speaking of teams that are supposed to be way better than what they are right now.
How'd they do over the weekend?
Horrible. All right.
Sorry, Chase. My comment machine's broken on that one. It for some reason won't put it up on the screen. It's such a shame.
Go figure. Interesting.
It's weird that Paul's works, and even this one will work, but I don't know. That one won't work. It's weird.
Gavin Biggio to the Dodgers, Jorge Lopez to the Cubs. That's right. Be careful what you wish for, friends. You might say your team absolutely blows. Throw your glove into the stands, and then within 2 weeks, you'll be playing for an even worse team on the north side of Chicago. Actually, he's not even there. He's over in Iowa, so that's even worse. So good job, Jorge Lopez. This weekend will mark the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which is a fantastic race. They get teams of 3. They race the same circuit as a 6.5, maybe 7 mile circuit that's shaped like a bow, like for a bow and arrow. It's like a bow. If you've never seen it, they'll be racing there. Starts at noon local time and ends at noon local time. It'll be a great 24-hour race where everything can happen.
Travis Kvapil, that's who's going to win.
Okay, sure. Multiple sources are reporting that Fox will be taking over IndyCar starting next year. Announcement expected at the end of this week. Most IndyCar fans, including myself, are not thrilled about that. Speaking of IndyCar, Jamie Chadwick, female from F2, picks up first win for female in IndyCar. She in NXT. She is the third female to win IndyCar minor league race. Only 2 other women have won.
That's the Busch League.
Yeah, that's like their Yes, for this year, Paul, it's switching full time to NBC next year, most likely. Actually, I think Chase might correct me. That might already be. NASCAR's in like 4 different places.
I was going to
say some are on. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm just not. Yeah, Fox is still doing some of it, but Fox is paying big bucks for all that coverage, and I tell you what, I hate it, hate it.
I'm glad there for a second there you went into you turned into Optimus Prime there for about 20 seconds, but I think you're back now.
Yeah, Chase is thanks, Chase. Yeah, NASCAR next year will be on Fox, Turner, Amazon, and NBC next year. But it sounds like Fox will be getting all of IndyCar next year. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see. We all on Peacock we get all of the practices and qualifying. I really hope Fox sets up some way that we can watch all of the practices and qualifying still. USA cricket beat Pakistan. That's right. You didn't know USA had a cricket team. You do now. USA cricket beat Pakistan in a very, from what I understand, a very wacky game. So,
did you not watch it?
I did not know. I have watched cricket in the past, but I did not watch that one. There we go. That's it.
And those are your tidbits. So you know what that means, right?
Time for me to go 1 for 4. I'm on
time to
logos.
Cue the music for Leroy's logos. It's everyone's favorite segment. Leroy hitting 383. Throwback month continues.
I understand cricket. I just don't understand the slang. Like they use a lot of slang for like their terminology. That's why I don't understand. I understand the concept of the game. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
I don't trust you, so we're gonna go 1.
Number 1. Will this be the week Leroy finally pulls out the 4 out of 4? Number 1.
What the hell is that?
This is from the 1950s. For this episode of Throwback version of Leroy's logos. I love this logo. It's fantastic. This might be the hardest one on here. I did two relatively easy and 2 that are not hard, but like.
Is that Kansas State?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, shut up. That's my answer.
Kansas State. Incorrect. Right mascot. Paul was in the same vicinity as well. He guessed Kentucky. This is Arizona. The Arizona Wildcats. It's a cool logo, though, isn't it? From the 1950s?
It screams 1950. It
really
screams
does.
1950s.
2, 3, or 4.
3.
From the 70s.
Ugh, yuck.
From the 70s. Another great logo.
Why does the eagle look like he's like PO'd?
He's got to be mean. You know this one?
No. He just looks annoyed, okay?
Uh-huh. Do you know this one?
I don't know.
The comment section is on fire right now.
They got it?
They do. And you're gonna kick yourself.
Yeah, I am. I don't know it.
No guess?
Nah.
Oh, you are gonna be so upset at yourself. Because Chase and Paul have both pulled out.
Oh my.
The Iowa Hawkeyes. You don't get a Big Ten school. My goodness. Maybe that was supposed to be one of my easier ones.
I wasn't even thinking in that direction.
You said eagle. You said eagle, and it's like, I don't know if you were trying to pull a fast one, but no. Okay. That honestly, Iowa, go back to this logo. I'm a fan. 2 or 4?
2, I guess. I'm so mad at myself. I'm telling you. You need to understand how mad I am at myself.
I told you would be. This logo is from 1945.
I like the 1921. That's.
I don't know if that tells you anything. Now, on his banner that he is holding, it says the school name, but I had to get rid of that.
Yeah. I'm going to go Georgia.
Georgia's on your mind? Oh, sorry. You're right.
You dick.
that actually was completely not on purpose. It is Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs. So it says UGA on his usual one, and there is your final one.
Oh, good. Ow. Just playing with the clipper, that clipper.
I didn't know what you were doing. There's your final one.
Figure though. I'm going to go with UNLV.
UNLV.
Where's it from?
The 80s. UNLV, that's your final answer?
That's my final answer, my friend.
Correct. Did you pick up on the hint in there that I was nice enough to leave you?
What?
On him? Did you see his belt buckle?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay. You didn't. You actually did know that was UNLV?
I knew that one, yeah.
Okay. So you got 2 out of 4 this week. You should have gotten 3 out of 4. I still can't believe you didn't get it.
Listen. I'm so mad at that.
Like,
I wasn't even thinking in that direction. I was like, all right. And I was thinking like Eagles. What schools are the Eagles? There's no schools that are the Eagles.
Boston College.
And then I was like, Hawks. What schools are the Hawks? Yep. Messed it up.
You know what you get? You know what you should get after that is like this guy. You could be doing this.
Yeah.
But you felt like that.
Instead I'm doing that. That sounds about right.
How about a little play clock where we get to ask the other person a question that we don't know anything about? 40 seconds.
Yeah.
I want to answer first.
All right. The St. Louis Cardinals announced that they are doing a promotion where it is, we give away a jersey. We're not telling you what size we're giving away. So you can get small, you can get 2X, you can get, I don't know what their end goal is.
I thought it was they don't know what player you're going to get. And they had sizes.
No, it's size.
No.
I'm pretty sure, and maybe y'all correct me in the comment section.
I think it's, I'll Google while you're talking.
So my question to you is what is the worst promotion? And they're getting slammed on social media for it.
No, okay, you're right.
Yeah, it is size. I'm telling you, it's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
What am I going to do? Walk up to people and go, XL, who's got an XL? Who's XL? So my question to you is, what's the worst promotion you've ever seen a team do? Could be yours, somebody else's.
It is size. Yeah, no. See, for me, can I instead just say the best one? Because one that's the best, worst one is, well, no, because this is kind of fits both, but it's the one that immediately came to mind when you said this. So the Florence Freedom, they did, and it's probably been 10 or 15 years ago, but remember the Manti Te'o thing with his girlfriend? They did Manti Te'o's girlfriend bobblehead night, and it was an empty box. And I just always found that, like, that, in all seriousness, an empty box is an awful promotional giveaway, but also hilarious. So to answer your question, that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's the worst yet best, depending on how you want to look at it.
the Springfield Horseshoes or Sliders or whatever minor league, whatever affiliate they had, gave away like tickets for like buying a gun. It's like it was like money, like it was they gave away vouchers that each one was like a different amount. There were some that were like $50 off, and some that were like $100 off, and there was some like they were $25 off of buying a gun from the nearest like gun store. And apparently, like a bunch of anti-gun groups like went and complained, and like the owner was like, "I've listened to your complaints, and I'm still gonna do the promotion."
Oh, hey, I respect it. Okay, Leroy, so you can use whatever terminology that you want with this, but let's just say there is a scenario where you have to do something, whether it's gun to your head or whatever it is. But what you have to do is play a professional game in one sport and play it well today. What position and what sport would you have the best chance at succeeding at today?
Have you seen how fat I am? Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. Honestly, skiing.
You gonna break your neck?
Fine, but I will go out a hero. Let me tell you. No, you know what? It's either my guess would probably be honestly would be racing. I think if I could be able to, I'd be all right doing that. But yeah, man, I don't think any of the big four I could do at all.
That's the thing. Well, that's the key word.
Right.
Well.
Right. And I could race and keep the car on the track. But like,
could you go as fast as they do though?
We were trying, so we did that in our IndyCar group. We said, how many laps could you do at Indy before you crashed? And there were the idiots that were like, oh, I could do all of them. I could do this. I could do that.
No, you couldn't.
I'm pretty sure I could break 200 and hit the wall on like turn 3. But no, I you know what? That's way more complicated than what people realize. I don't necessarily think I could do any of them.
Is fishing count?
Yeah, but you gotta catch fish. I'm not good at that either.
But I mean, here's the thing, Paul. To be a shooting guard in the NBA, you have to play the entire game. And to play well, I don't think sitting there is.
Yeah, there you go, Chase. I can do that.
Could you, in all seriousness, could you play right field today?
Right field? Yeah.
Like, you think you could play the field today?
Yeah. I'd go for 4, but yeah.
Really? You think you could?
Play right field and go 0 for 4? I could do that.
Play a decent right field?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't even know that I would. I mean, I'm just thinking about the sheer running.
Yeah, but okay. Honestly, in a real baseball game, how many balls are getting hit to right field in one game? 8, 7?
Yeah.
Until they see 5'3" Leroy out there and they all start pulling it.
I was gonna say you out there, they're peppering it to you the entire game. But I just would right field be the one position? Like if you had to in baseball, would that be the one you'd succeed at the most, or left field?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no shot you playing shortstop. None.
No, and it's like the video I sent you, that one NFL, Micah Parsons. They asked Micah Parsons. They asked Micah, they said, Micah, how many hits could you get in a baseball season? What'd he say? I'd have to pull 200 is what he
said he'd hit 200.
And then he changed his mind. He changed his wording. It was like, I could hit .200.
Yeah.
And they were like, Tyler Glasnow was the guy they were talking to. Glasnow was like, no, he couldn't.
No.
There's no, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Because they asked him, they said, did you ever play baseball at any level? And Michael was like, no.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Could you make contact
How many chances do I get
in a game?
in a game? Kind of contact?
Correct.
No, maybe on a changeup. Like maybe if I
But see, here's the thing: if you're sitting,
changeup is like 85. The 85-mile-an-hour changeup. The fastest pitch I ever faced at any level was 74, and I swung and wildly missed.
You forgot. That's an 85-mile-per-hour changeup that moves.
Right. Like I said, the fastest pitch I've ever faced in my life was 74. And I'm telling you, I was so bad.
And that's an EFIS.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just
right. No way. There's no way. These
funny.
pitches are too damn good. There's no way.
It's funny. I'm ready here.
Well, there was rumors this week that a certain quarterback was supposed to be on the cover of Madden 25. He sadly did not. CMC is on the cover. So I ask you, Sam, how important, and there were some people that were pretty pissed off about it, how important is the cover athlete to you, or don't you care who's on the cover?
I could not care less.
He clarified, like, could not
care less. No, I mean, it means absolutely nothing. I just find it funny that you had the people that were mad that he was going to be on it because of the curse, which, has happened. But then there have also been players like Patrick Mahomes who've won the Super Bowl. Calvin Johnson broke the record for most receiving yards in a year. Like, there's been examples of it not being a curse and so on. I don't know. It's just, I just find it funny how mad that makes people. It would have been one of those things that Madden might have sold me a copy, whereas now I'm probably not going to buy it. I'm just going to stick with the NCAA game.
Especially because you can't transfer your players.
Yes. You're not wrong. And next year you might be able to do that.
Right.
Alrighty. It's been a while since I've done a good old Mount Rushmore for you, Leroy.
Oh. Are we doing poker players? Because I'll be 0 for 4 on that one.
No, it's going to be more controversial than that. And probably harder.
Oh, great.
Main dishes at fast food restaurants. Your Mount Rushmore of main dishes at fast food restaurants. Your top 4. What's on?
Oh, Lord. Baconator.
Good choice.
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Okay.
Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. And even though I don't eat it, I have to appreciate it. Oh, well. Supreme Pizza Hut.
Say that again. You broke up.
Supreme Pizza from Pizza Hut.
I'll allow it.
I was really thinking about Mexican pizza from Taco Bell. I'm not a big Mexican pizza fan, but everybody seems to love that meal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I don't even know what my 4 would be. Baconator, I agree. It's got to be on there. And honestly, quarter pounder with cheese, delicious. I might go like a Crunchwrap though. Like I'm pulling in my taco. I mean, listen, the Crunchwrap or a chalupa.
Yeah,
it's always good. And
the chicken sandwich from like Chick-fil-A or something. Popeyes. Oh, and the four cheeseburgers from Sliders.
From White Castle?
Or from White Castle, yeah.
Can I had meant to bring this up too, but you know where I went over the weekend? And Paul, this is right up your alley. And Chase, you know why I'm going to bring this up too if you both are still on with us. You know where I ate over the weekend? After the Reds game on Friday night when I went back, we went out, we had some drinks and so on, and it was probably 12 or 12:30, so we were hungry. So what does any person who's had a couple of drinks go at 12:30 in the morning? There's only one option.
Greasy food.
Waffle House.
Greasy food. Love it.
I had not been to the Waffle House in a couple of years.
Christy and I love going to Waffle House at 2 a.m.
Oh, and it was probably 12:30 or 1. Packed. Oh, I mean, we had to wait. We almost had to wait for a table, which was hilarious. Chase hates Waffle House.
That's a horrible opinion. But
I agree. We've had this discussion plenty of times, me and him. It is absolutely delicious. Paul says he can't comment. That's not good. He just messaged me and said I can't comment. What happened, Paul?
Paul got banned?
Did you get banned?
Spamming?
My goodness. Well, that's really disappointing. I don't know. Chase, but I just regained my appreciation for the Waffle House because it was absolutely delicious. And Popeyes is another restaurant that is absolutely delicious as well, which Chase hates both of them, and I don't understand why. But I was going to bring that up, and just, like, you can't go wrong with it. Hash browns, covered. Dang. Well, this is really disappointing. Now, we're potentially going to have some good conversations there about Popeyes and Waffle House with Paul being the Georgia guy. I know he's got opinions on the Waffle House. Leroy, you got drivers?
I do have drivers. Hold on, let me pull them up for you. You guys know how this works. I got to give Sam a driver. He tells me whether or not they are F1, IndyCar, or NASCAR. Maybe. This thing wants to work.
Yeah, Chase says that the Waffle House made him sick one year.
You know what? Restaurant I am really, really bad with is Subway. Subway, I love Subway, and I've gotten better on it as the years have gone by, but there was a long time where I can't believe it didn't load all three of them at once. Hold on. Where I didn't trust Subway because it would make me sick. It would make me sick half the time. So
would it give you the green apple quick steps?
Yeah, it was not. There we go.
Interesting.
All right. I don't know why it's being stupid, but here you go. Here's driver one for you. Hopefully you can see that.
Oh, he kind of looks familiar. Oh, my goodness. Oh, shoot. I'm going to say that's an F1 driver, but I'm not confident.
Okay.
Yep.
Nope, that is IndyCar. That's Alex Palou. He won last year's championship.
All
right.
That's such a shame. I was feeling semi-confident on that.
I know.
Oh gosh.
Stupid. Hold on. Give me a second.
I do appreciate that I'm not sure if it's just in my headset and it wouldn't shock me if it is, but you turn into Optimus Prime.
I'm so frustrated with all of my technology today. No,
apparently
he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
I mean,
Arrow McLaren screwed that up themselves. They got nobody to blame themselves.
F1's where the real drivers go, right? Isn't that right, Chase? Okay, for one, this guy's not a NASCAR driver, so he's got to be an F1 driver. Ain't no way NASCAR driver has that big of hair. So he's an F1 driver.
Yeah, it's Logan Sargent. Good job.
Is he British?
He is American. He is American, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, he sucks. He's awful at F1, but he is American. The only American in the entire circuit.
Interesting. And drop us in here, our last one here, where I'm trying to guess if this is an IndyCar driver, a NASCAR driver, or an F1 driver. Do you agree with this? F1 is the worst fans, teams, and culture.
You know what? There's a lot that I agree with on that. The racing's horrible. Racing's awful.
But Jean Girard, that's where he came from. Oh. The scruff makes me think NASCAR.
Okay. The scruff.
Yep. And that's my answer.
You're sticking to it?
Yep.
Listen, I don't blame you at all. That is absolutely a NASCAR driver. That is Chase. Who is that? You know that one. That's right, buddy.
Oh, Ryan Blaney. Okay. Interesting. Speaking of NASCAR, our NASCAR pick contest for this week.
Oh,
they had
so irritated with
last week at Sonoma. Paul picked up another win as far as point total. In second place, Leroy, you and I tied with 18 points. And then in last place, coming in with 1 point, Mr. Chase Blaine. Good job, Chase. So Chase messaged me Friday saying that he wanted to make the change from Truex to Ty Gibbs. And then like Ty Gibbs on like the third lap wrecked, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So great job. They head to New Hampshire this week, which I find funny. Could they not have, like, we're going from Sonoma to New Hampshire. Like you couldn't. Oh wait, no, they're at Iowa, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in Iowa, man.
Iowa's not on my list here. That makes a little bit more sense because they're at Iowa. Because I didn't really know why they were going to have to travel across the streets.
Because NASCAR can't let IndyCar have any circuit by themselves. They got to take over every single.
What was this supposed to be? California?
Yeah.
Chase, back me up here. It is Auto Club Speedway. I think it's where it's supposed to be.
Iowa's
this week.
Iowa's repaved, and they're not expecting good racing this weekend.
So it is Iowa where the race will happen. Leroy, your updated standings too. Let me bring those. Paul Reeves, well in first place now. 464 points. I'm in second at 436. Leroy at 409. Chase at 394. John 312. Tyler 299. Luke 110. Bert at 17.
Xfinity was there last year though, weren't there? Like Xfinity's been there for a few years, haven't they? I know IndyCar did all the work to bring them back, but I think Xfinity was there over the last couple of years that they've been there.
Because Iowa's a shorter track too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Do you got a pick? I'm gonna go with Christopher Bell. It's my first time picking him this year.
I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott. So it is. Okay. It was replacing Auto Club Space.
Oh, that's right. They were trying to get up to Canada for the GP track. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hasn't raced there since COVID. So do you have a pick then this week? Chase is going to go with Kyle Larson. Which, Chase, that's the first time you've picked Larson. Leroy's picking Chase Elliott.
You won this weekend, man.
Yeah, the 1 week you weren't allowed to pick him. Paul, I don't know if you can watch and message me or what it might be. I did just see here too, Paul. I'm not sure, or Leroy. I'm not sure if he's watching, but our good boy Mikey Oxendine just left a heart on our show. So I'm not sure if he's watching or not, but Sports Talk Days, that's going way back. He probably doesn't remember me.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
But,
I appreciate you, Mikey.
Leroy always blocks him out on Larson. You are very popular in picking Kyle Larson, Leroy. So yes, Paul, if you're watching and want to message either Leroy or myself your pick, you can do that. You could take whoever you want. You took Chase Elliott last week, and he got you 40 points there at the race at Sonoma. So they're racing at Iowa this week, and then I guess New Hampshire is next week. Chase, are you going to Nashville when they're there in a couple of weeks? Let's see. Paul is messaged in, and he's going to take Denny Hamlin.
There you go.
So that's Paul's pick. I don't know if Chase is headed to Nashville. Are you planning on going to any other races this year?
IndyCar wise, I'll be
at St. Louis.
I'll be at St. Louis. I'll be attending that one, not working. I'll be attending.
Wait, how dare you? It is not in St. Louis. Stop it.
Madison. I'm sorry. It's Madison. And then my hope is to go to Nashville for the finale as well, although I don't know if I'll be able to.
Is that the street race?
It's supposed to be, but they ran into some issues with the NFL schedule, so they're moving it to the super speedway instead.
which is really not super, is it?
No.
Isn't
No.
it short?
I think it's a mile and a half.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it was more like Iowa sized. I'm just mad that they haven't come back to Kentucky. Are you not going to go to Chicago for the street race in a couple of
No, I don't want to mess with all that traffic up there, man. Ugh.
Don't they just call that Saturday
in Chicago? It's 1.3 miles.
Okay. See, I thought it was much shorter than that, so I didn't really. But then again, I mean, what do I know? I'm just the sports guy. Like, there's.
Iowa's less than a mile. Iowa's only 7/8.
Yeah. I was gonna say I knew that one was really short. It's called Super Speedway because Nashville Speedway is a small short track at the fairgrounds. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. When are they going to come to Kentucky Motor Speedway, Chase? They're in Whitesville. That's the track that we need. Like a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next week we'll be back. Or did you have anything? Did they? So 3-0.
106.
Do you have anything else that you wanted to discuss that we didn't get to? Oh, wait, you had an off my chest. That's right. I forgot.
And it's kind of nuance. So
isn't that what this segment's all about?
I know it. There's a IndyCar broadcaster who will be doing F1, not F1, who will be doing NASCAR, called Lee Diffie. Lee Diffie does track and field. He does a lot of other maybe off the cuff sports.
He's
stuff
British, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He's very good. And most people don't realize, and you and I know how tough broadcasting is. But what people don't realize about a NASCAR or IndyCar broadcast is you can't just say Scott Dixon goes around Alex Palou moves into second place. Scott Dixon moves around, Romain Grosjean runs into the wall and hits. You can't say all that. You have to say Scott Dixon, the number 9 PNC Bank Honda, Alex Palou in the number 10 DHL Honda, Joseph Newgarden, the number 2 Hitachi Chevy. Every single time you say the driver, you almost always have to say the car, the sponsor, because that's who's paying it, right? Is you have to get those sponsors in. And Lee Diffie does an amazing job. He is fantastic. And the amount of hate that I've seen on him from NASCAR fans and IndyCar fans who don't appreciate how hard of a job Lee does. Because listen, Lee's job is not to cater to Chase Blaine. His job is not to cater to me. His job is to cater to you, Sam, the person who doesn't care about racing, the person who has no interest in any of that. That's his job, is to get those people that aren't watching when he says, oh, for people to turn their heads and look and see why. And most diehard fans don't realize that. Lee Diffie's, and Chase said, Diffie's amazing. And I wish he got more respect than what he does in these circuits.
Australian.
Thank you. He's fantastic. And I don't think people realize when they watch racing how difficult that job is to make sure that you are getting all of the information out there that you were supposed to get. It's the NTT IndyCar Series. The Indy 500 is the NTT IndyCar Series, or it's the Indy 500 presented by Gainbridge. Like, there's so many sponsor names you have to get right every single time you say it. And most people don't realize how difficult that is to get that on every single one, every single time.
To me, it's the same thing as like horse racing. Like the guys who do that, it is so amazing, watching, that they know the silks and so on and can process it super quick. It is really good. He says, I appreciate it. I can't wait for him to come over to NASCAR. They couldn't replace Dale Jr. with anyone better.
Yeah. So that's my rant, is too many people don't appreciate how difficult of a job, not just broadcasters, but racing broadcasters have to do. Yes, we have a difficult job too. We really do. But I'm telling you, those guys that can rattle off the entire sponsor without even missing a beat every single time, That's amazing. Try it sometime. You know, imagine if like, you know, Christopher Morel brought to you by Who Died over at shortstop. Every time the ball was short, he'd have to say the whole thing. It'd be crazy.
It wouldn't shock me if in about 20 years. That's the thing, though. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. It's like baseball. Tough sport to do.
Yeah. That's my off the chest.
Soccer. Really hard to do. Really hard to do.
Yeah.
No, next week we'll be back. Trade deadline gets closer. We'll talk about that. We'll probably have an NBA champion. We could have an NHL champion, maybe.
Maybe. If they ever get to Edmonton.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We could have some more changes in the NASCAR pick contest as well.
Yep.
Maybe Paul will. Yep, we'll have that. I have our music queued up. And maybe next week. Yes, the Olympics are coming closer. I was going to save this for a play clock, but why not just bring it up to you? Do you care?
Do I care?
Yes.
Yes, but only about certain events. And I like the Winter Olympics way more than the Summer Olympics. I know that's
see, I'm the opposite.
Most people don't. Mm-hmm. And most people don't. Most people like the Summer Olympics way better than the Winter. I'm in the minority, and I know that.
What I like about is I like turning on, and especially I have Peacock now. I like watching the random events. Because fencing. I liked it because
you've got to watch fencing. If you haven't watched fencing,
I watched last time it was in Tokyo, right? I think this was the last Olympics. And I, for whatever reason, was hosting our morning show that week. I don't really remember as to why, but it was 9 a.m. So nothing was happening in Tokyo because everyone was sleeping.
Yeah.
So they were just playing replays of the random events on like USA Network. And I just loved it because during our morning show, I just had up there. And I remember there was one point where I think it was rock climbing. And I was just like, this is outstanding. I was like, this is awesome. Okay. You're hilarious now, Chase. Look at you go. Hilarious. But those are the events that I like. I'm not one of those people that goes out of my way to watch them. But I'm also not like against it or anything.
Yeah.
Headset.
You do have one on.
Well, I don't have I've got one in the other room over there. Maybe I'll wear a headset one of these times. This is a little bit easier though, because it's out of I guess it does kind of look like one, but no, it's just on a pole. It's not quite as fun. But no, so I'm excited. The Olympics will be here before we know it. I don't really know what day the opening games are, but it'll be here soon. Anything else that you want to say as we wrap up today?
We're good, man.
Thank you for bearing with us. Thank you again for getting us our followers so we could actually do this show live. We'll see you back here next week. 100%. I know. Now I didn't even process you, Hayden. Didn't even process who you were. I was so confused. It's like, headset. Okay, now I know what you're saying. Okay, got to get you your headset. It is in your blood. So Hayden's grandpa, Leroy, is the legendary broadcaster. He's the true voice of the Cougars, Dave Thompson. So he did it for, your grandpa was probably the voice of Grayson County sports, and then prior to consolidation for probably 50 or 60 years. Probably every bit of that. He might know the exact. But the GOAT of broadcasting. The GOAT of broadcasting. Now I processed it. I didn't even process that that's who was commenting there. Sorry about that.
Netflix is going to do a Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi hot dog eating contest.
We didn't even talk about that.
Nathan banned him from the banned him. 16-time champ can't freaking do it because he's sponsored a vegan food or whatever.
You're taking away. I mean, that would literally be like the NFL tomorrow saying, Patrick Mahomes,
you're no longer allowed.
Not allowed. Can't play. Can't participate. Shohei Ohtani. Well, actually, this might happen to him. I mean, the NHL. Bobby Orr, you're out. Can't play anymore.
Yeah.
NBA, LeBron. Sorry,
you're done.
Can't play it. Nope. Giannis, never again. You're done.
Luka. Such a joke.
Oh, look who's back. Look who's back. He's back now. Paul. Welcome back.
Paul, I cannot wait to prove it wrong and shove it down your throat.
Oh. You're going to be shoving a lot of wieners down your throat that day. There's no question about that. Wouldn't be mad at LeBron being out. So, yes, that's something you get to look forward to. We're like, 3 or 4 weeks away from – I'm not saying it's a hot dog eating contest because I am not going to win at all. It is going to be I'll be lucky to get 4 down in 10 minutes. But you say – what's your number again? 8? Is that what you said?
8. 8 is what I said, yes.
8 in 10 minutes.
Yeah, 8 is what I said.
And are we doing the Nathans? Or did we decide on Oscar Myers? Because we have to buy the same hot dog.
I thought we decided on Oscar Mayer. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Fun length?
That's fine.
Okay. So you all heard it right here now. So on July the 3rd, the show before, we're going to do a hot dog eating contest or hot dog eating quest.
The quest for glory starts now.
AKA, we're just trying to call out that Leroy cannot eat 8 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
That's fine. That's fine. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yeah. Paul is exactly right. Get the people.
I've been practicing.
Of course you have. I just got to get this button ready to remove you from the screen when you start blowing chunks. So that, and now that I put you back, are you okay? For a second, I thought you weren't able to come back. So that if you do have to back off camera, or maybe you could turn your camera off or something if that happens, that we'll know that if you just start seeing Leroy's picture, that means that the 8 hot dogs have come out. But all right, that's enough talk for us for today. We'll be back next week. Who knows what the topics could be. Leroy, enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Thank you, my friend.
We'll see you next week. Thank you all for listening and watching.
Appreciate you all.